Hello guys, a warm welcome to one and all, and welcome to the sessions of database management systems. Okay, today we are going to discuss about functions, the last part of functions. Okay, so yesterday we are been talking about different kind of functions. We are been talking about the last day. I mean, yesterday also we are been talking about different kind of functions. Okay, so hope you remembered what we have discussed yesterday, right? We have discussed some kind of single row functions which is related to strings, dates, mathematical functions. At the same time, we have discussed some kind of special function. Okay, all right. Today, what I am going to discuss is let's see, there are a few more single row function is left over. Along with that, we are going to go for some kind of how to define a user defined functions in SQL Server database. That is what our agenda for today's session. So, let me directly start the session. All right. So, first we will start with directly with some kind of mathematical functions are done in the last day only. All right. So directly okay. So, this one is done. All right. Hope you already we have done with the string functions also and date functions, and we will go to first thing is conversion functions. Okay. So, these are the functions we have not discussed. All right. So, these functions we will discuss here, okay, and after that we will go to how to define a user defined functions also. All right. So, first thing is conversion function. What is the use of this conversion function first of all? All right. So, how do you use this conversion functions in SQL Server database? Okay. For example, let me tell you one thing very clearly. All right. So, when you can use this conversion function, when actually this conversion functions are required. For example, let's consider any column of a particular table. Let's see column 1, column 2, or let's see some column of your table is basically about integer format. Okay, it's normally in integer format, but so as a user is expecting that value of that column in string format. All right. So, physically you do not have an access, you can't able to change the column data type. Okay, because whenever you are creating a table, automatically at the time of creation you basically give a particular data type to the specific column. So, what will happen is that column value will be directly assigned to it, but as the column is defined with some specific data type, something called integer. All right. So, now what is a user is expecting when a user is requested for a certain database or database server like SQL Server, it is expecting that value has to be come in some kind of let's imagine that it has to come in a string format, nothing but you have to print that value in varchar format. All right. So, how to do or how to make sure that the value of a certain column has to be converted into the respective value of varchar, right. For this, SQL Server offers you some two functions. All right. SQL Server will offer you two functions, that is something called comes under conversion function. This conversion function will make sure that the respective physical column of a table, even though it is an integer, the value of that will be shows as in some other data type, nothing but it is just like a conversion, nothing but integer will be converted into string or string converted into integer, or money will be converted into string, something like that. Okay. So, that is the reason why we will use basically a conversion function, and the conversion functions are two basically, one is a cast function and second one is convert function. Let us see the screen once again. You have a two functions here, that is cast function and convert function. Now, we will discuss about these two functions here, that is something called how do you work with the cast function and how do you work with convert function. All right. So, now let me go to our SQL Server database first of all, let me flip to SQL Server. All right. So, now let us use the table name or database name first of all, e_Shoppy is my database name. All right. So, this particular database have a table called let us see probably tbl_employee. All right. So, not this one. All right. So, now let us execute this so that you have a different columns here. Let's understand here that entire data of a table. All right. So, I will just show you to an Excel sheet. All right. Okay. So, once if it is particular column has been displayed in so and so value. All right. Now let's see this. This is what simple data is, or this is your entire database table information. All right. So with this information, what I want to do is, right now this salary column, value, all are in integer format, nothing but it basically everything is in integer format. But what I want to do is, I want to make sure that this values of column has to be shows in a string format. Alright. So someone is requested that this value of a particular column or this particular column value has to be displayed in string. Alright. So how to make sure that the value of a respective column has to be displayed in string. So for that, I just want to show you first of all a cast function here. Alright. So let's see how to use this cast function. First of all, let's write the syntax first of all for the cast function. Select, you can have a cast. Alright. So whatever the column name you have, okay, so you have some column name in your database, and as what you want to show, nothing but this is something called, if it is integer you can show that, nothing but a target data type you can call it. Alright, nothing but here this is your original column. Alright, this original column value is something is an integer, and I want to show this in a string format, nothing but I have to specify here something called varchar. Okay, and from what I want to do is, I want to make sure that it has to be from so and so table. Alright, so this is how we can able to write any kind of cast function. Please, you need to remember one very important thing is, whenever you working with any kind of any set of functions, even it is single row function, multi row function or some other function, but you have to remember one of very important thing is this kind of functions which only work with a select statement. It cannot be works with insert, update and delete. Please do remember this, one of very important factor in terms of functions here. So this select statement will be able to work with this particular cast function. Alright. So now how to what I want to do is, I want to make a cast for the column name is, right now I do have a column name called employee salary column, right. As what I want to show is, I want to show it as a varchar column or in varchar, depends on your request, as right. From what is the table name we are looking for? We are looking for the table name called employee table. Alright. So if you just see here, what is the column name here? This is your employee name column, but by default physically the data type which is defined for this is an integer, but what I want to show now, I want to show it in a string format. Let's understand here, let's execute this. Now the column value has been in right now is in string format, not in an integer. It looks like an integer, but the values are not in integer now. These values are in strings format. Okay. So as the requesting depends on the request of a particular user, then we can make sure that right now it is an integer, but the output of this one will be in string format. Alright, you can also do one thing. For example, I have a salary column. Alright, I want to make this salary column has to be displayed in let's see probably some other data type. Let's say as let's see I want to display it as money data type. Let's see money. From the table name is this one. Okay, now let's understand here. Right now you can able to see what is that values are, right. So here this is your in strings, right. Now let's go to one more column here, paste this. Now you can just see that the column values right now is in a money format, so that you can have a 45,000.00, right. So alright. So now look at here, this values of the column is right now is in terms of a money format, nothing but you can understand that the values of physical columns are not changed, physical column values are not changed, but the values, target values has got changed, nothing but this value, even though it is integer data type, it is varchar, even though it is salary, it has been in again in money format. Okay, this is how we can able to apply the cast function. Alright, the cast function will be used in terminology of conversion of SQL Server database. Alright, so what is the next function? Hope you understand this one. Alright, So hope you understand the cast function, and go to the one more function, call it as convert function. Alright. So what is the use of the convert function here? The convert function is basically a general purpose function which converts the data type as like the same thing. The base meaning of cast function, the base meaning of convert function, or both are same. Nothing but cast function also will convert you one data type to another data type, same as that convert also do the same thing. It is also will be used to convert one specific data type of a column to another data type. And here you need to remember one thing, in most of the general, if I something call it as general terminology, convert function will be used more than cast function, because you have a more flexibility in convert function rather than in this particular part. Alright. So now let me go to this particular part, or let's see how to use this first of all cast function. Alright. So now let's see, not cast, sorry, convert function. Convert of, I want to convert something in integer format, the value has to be 10.1452, right. If I convert this decimal points into integer, so what is the value I have to get? I have to get the value as this one. Now let's understand here, is that you are getting that value as 10 or not here. Let's see that the value of this particular value, or the value of the respective data type is 10. Nothing but what is the input we are giving to this? Actually the input is something called 10 point something like this. Okay. Now let me show you one more example. Let's see, select the convert function. Alright. So I have to show something in money format, right. So what is the money? 15,200. Actually it is integer now, because you don't have any .00. Now let's see, if I want to make that in a basic money format, you can just see here the value is something called 15,200.00. Nothing but whenever you can go for any currency format, you will get this format. So that's the reason SQL server is also offers you one of the data type called money. Automatically it directly converts any value into money format here. Alright. So this is one thing, and also you can see that let's see, for example, I want to convert alright. So I want to convert something into a varchar format, nothing but variable character format, but I hope you know this function, right, getDate function. Alright. So getDate is one of the function which we have already discussed in the earlier class. This getDate function is used to return the current date and time. Actually this will becomes in terms of what? It will becomes in terms of what? It will comes in terms of date and money, date and time format, but what I want to do is I want to convert that value into varchar. Okay. So now let's understand here, the value will be right now is in so value, but the value right now is in format of okay, October 31st, 2017 and so time. Alright. So this is how we can able to apply the getDate function, but actually the getDate function will return to you the value in terminology about date and time, but what I want to do is I am converting this date and time into varchar format, nothing but strings format. There is nothing but there are some requirement. There is some situations where your application is requested for something in for example something is in varchar, but you have a column called getDate column, nothing but you have a column called some column which takes you some numbers in terms of what I can say date and time. Alright. So in that time you want to convert that date and time into a strings format. Alright. So something you want to show the date of birth. Okay. So the date of birth right now something has been binded as a getDate function. Alright. So after that when I want to show it in a string format, directly I can use cast function or I can use convert function, but in general purpose terminology you can use the convert function for converting a respective data type into that. Alright. So this is one of the very important thing in terminology of conversion. This is two functions will be used most of the time in real time applications, okay, out of which convert takes very much important factor rather than the cast function. Alright. So hope you understand these two functions. Let's see the screen. So this is for cast function, this is for convert function, and you can also do the same thing for this also. Alright. If you want to do, let us say a cast function or say convert function, I want to convert that value into what? Let's say probably varchar value. as, alright. So, give a column name, something called, what is a column name? Employee salary column. From the table name is TBL underscore employee. This will be give you the value in terminology about what is the value we have given here, that value will be converted into varchar format, right. So, also you can apply the same thing here. Let us see, probably select, you can say convert of, I want to convert that value into money format. Alright. So, what is the column name? Employee salary column. From the table name is TBL underscore employee. Alright. So, you can just see here right now this value will be converted into money format. Alright. So, this is how you can able to see the different values will be converted into the respective data type, depends on the requirements of a particular user. Alright. So, hope you clear all these two functions, one is cast function and the other one is convert function. Alright. So, most of the time you have to remember this function, and this is also useful, but not much. Alright. So, in real time application this will be used most of the time. Alright. So, now let me go to our presentation again. Alright. So, we have to discuss these two functions. What is the two functions here? The function name called rank and the other function name called dense rank. Alright. So, let us see, or sorry. Alright. So, you have a function name called rank function and you have a function name called dense rank. So, where actually use these two functions and how to use these functions in real time application. Okay. So, these two functions in you can go for any function called rank function or dense rank. These two functions will be works based on our group of values. Alright. So, for example, I have a group values. Okay. So, for example, I want to segregate student ranks. Alright. So, for example, let's imagine that if you are writing let's see MSET examination, or else you are writing some graduation examination. In that you have some ranks like 1, 1, 2, 2, 2 or 3, 3, 3, something like that. So, if you go for some higher grade examinations like group 1 or group 2, for example, examination like you have a ranks like 1 and again 1, but there is no 2, then it will be starts with 3. Okay. So, now let us understand it very carefully. Alright. So, there are a few cases in the application of different ranks. Okay. So, for example, if you just consider sometime your ranks like this. Alright. Alright. So, there are a few chances your ranks will be like this, 1, 1 is done. So, then there is no repetition of 2, then it will be 3, 3, 3. Now, how many values are gone? See that 1, this is second place, this is third place, this is fourth place, this is fifth place. Now, your value starts from 6, 6, 6. Alright. So, there is no gaps will be leaves here, but here you have a gaps. Alright. So, that is these are the two ranks will be decided based on the two function whatever I am going to tell you right now. The first function is call it as rank function and the other function is call it as dense rank. Now, let us see here first of all, right, how these two functions first basic description. Alright. So, let us see this. Okay. So, these two functions are basically call it as analytical functions, both are same, and these are the functions called rank and the other function name called dense rank. Right. So, how these two functions does works? Okay, let us see that these two functions are used to calculate rank of a particular value from the set of values, nothing but you need a group of values, to work with, either it can be rank function or it can be dense rank function. Alright. See that even though if you go for rank function, it will be set of values, even though you can go for dense rank, it is also works over set of values. So, what is the values here? The rank function in SQL Server returns the position of the value within the position of the result set with gaps ranking where there is no ties. Alright. So, here you will have a ties. Alright. So, please note it down, very important thing and very important part in interviews also. Right. Whatever it is displaying on your screen, please note it down everyone. All right. Hope it is clear, everyone. Let's see that once again I am explaining you. All right. So, where actually this two function does works, first of all, these two functions will be works based on a group of value, nothing but set of values, nothing but you need to work on this two function. First of all, you need to have a result set. That result set has to contain some group of values, right. So, first thing is, if I have a group of value, then this group of value has to be given input to the either rank function or dense rank function. If I am giving a input to rank function, there is no ties. If I am giving an input to a dense rank, there will be a ties between value 1 to value 2. Alright. These are the two important points you have to remember whenever someone is asking you on the functions called rank and dense rank. Alright. Let me summarize once again. These two functions, whether you can go for rank function, whether you can go for dense rank function, these two functions are used to work or can be able to work based on a group of values. You need to have a group of values to work with this, and the group of values can be given input to either rank function or a dense rank function. Whenever I am giving an input to rank and dense rank function, what will be the expected output? If I am giving an input to rank function, what will happen is this rank function will be right now does not have a ties in the sense there is no collision, where it is if you go for dense rank there is a collision, nothing but you have a ties between the value 1 to value 2. Alright. So, is it clear, everyone? Now, let us see with a practical thing which is our SQL Server database. Alright. Alright. So, I will just go to our SQL Server database and I will just open the new window. Alright. So, what I want to do is, first of all, I just want to create a simple table here, right. So, to understand the basic things here, create, alright, table, right. Just give any table name whatever you want, alright. So, you can just give any table. Let us see, probably I am giving a table name called let us say class, alright. The name of my table name is class 1, which is have a few columns here, right. The column name is student, alright. Say it is varchar column, alright. So, varchar column size you can just give it as 50 or something, alright. And the next one is subject, it is also varchar column, you can just give an input as 50 for this also, and then you can have a grade, alright. So, it is type of integer, nothing but this will be either 1, 2 or something like that, alright. So, now let me first create this table under the database called eShopee, alright. So, now hope you know this particular queries to create the table, right. So, this is a create table command is used to create a table, and the table name is this one, and the class 1 is our table name. Let me check how much data is presented here. Now, let me say select star from, the table name is this one. If I go for this, you do not have any data in this particular column. You have any data is here? No data is presented here, but I want to insert a few data into this. Let us see how do I insert some data into this, okay. Alright. So, first thing is I will go to this particular part and I will have already script. So, let us see, I will just copy that script here, alright. 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 So, now what I just want to do is okay. So, just copied alright. So, right now I just have a simple table here, or right now our table name is class 1, alright. So, let me change it, the places where I just want to change the class name, it is class 1, alright. Alright, so here I have insert command. Here you have to remember one of the very important factor here is, you have to remember very important thing is, okay, as hope you understand previously that you have discussed some kind of insert statement, right? Insert into a command which is used to insert a single record into your table. Alright, so hope you remember that insert into table name. What will happen is basically it is trying to create or it is trying to insert a single record into your database table. Yes or no? Nothing but here there is no option. For example, I have a bulk of records, nothing but I have around 1000 records at a time, and these 1000 records I can't able to write all the time insert, right? So is there any possibility? Is there any possibility insert this 1000 records at a time into my table or not? Right? You have a scope. You can insert more than single record into a table with a single insert statement. Right? What is that insert statement has to contain is this insert statement has to contain insert along with selection statement. Nothing but internally within the insert you have to write some select statement. With this part you can able to write single insert, but you can able to insert multiple records into a single database. Alright. So now let's see this, how this you can able to work with this. Insert the class name in the sense it's a table name. Insert a table name. So what is the columns, what is the values we are inserting? Select this value. N is the alias name, A is the value which has to be inserted, N is an alias name, this is the value has to be inserted, and the marks of the grade is 100. Union all, hope you remember that union all operator which combines, union all operators which combines. What it will combine? It is trying to combine one or more select statement as a single statement, because as we have discussed this union all operator long back in when we are discussing joins concept. Yes or no? When we are discussing joins concept, we have discussed union all operator. Here I am using the same thing, nothing but I am trying to have a number of select statement, but I want to execute all of this select statement as a single select statement. So that I want to make a union all operator between here. Nothing but after writing this, I just want to say that rank and dense rank. Select of dense rank is a function over how many values order by grade column, and the same thing I am applying on the order by descending order. Here one is descending, here also in descending. Alright, hope you remember that order by column. In earlier classes we have discussed about the earlier column, we have discussed about order by column, which is makes you the records or which makes you the particular column values either in ascending order or in descending order. Okay, after this let me select this particular query and execute it. You can just see here what is the output of this particular table, and let me open an Excel sheet. Alright, so understand it here carefully. Alright, so I just want to copy with a header so that you can able to understand easily. Right, so copy paste here, right. So we are inserting 6 student details, and the subject is in English, and the grades are this one. Right, if I apply the dense rank, what is the output? If I apply the rank, what will happen? Now let us see this. Whenever you can have a dense rank, you have ties here, nothing but 1 followed by 2 times is repeated, and then again 3 is repeated for 2 more times. Alright, then it have a 4. Alright. So you have a different values, nothing but there is a tie between record and record, nothing but there are ties. But if you just observe here, rank function 1 is followed by a 2, nothing but how many places it is occupied here? Second place and third place is occupied. Then there is no intention about this 2 records, nothing but next 2 records are 4 and 4. Automatically 5th record is occupied, then the value has to be in 6th record. Nothing but these are the few places you can able to apply the rank function. These are the places where you can apply the dense rank function. Alright. So this is where you can have a practical things whenever you can go for an examination, competitive examinations like a group 1, you have this particular function will be applied on the ranks, and the normal examinations like MSET or something like that, you can have a dense rank function. Nothing but a person who is holding a second rank and the second person is also holding the second rank. But if a person is holding second rank for twice, there is no chance for holding the third rank, right? It directly goes to 4th rank. Okay. So you need to remember this output for sure, because it is very much important factor in terminology about your applications of SQL Server database. Very much important interview question also. Alright. So what are the differences between rank and dense rank function? Dense rank will have a ties, where rank does not have a ties. Alright. So hope you have done this. We have already function of this one is done. Alright. So now let me go to the last part here, which is go to some kind of user defined function. Alright. So now how to define our own defined function in SQL Server database and how to work with this. We have a two different kind of functions, where this user defined functions or any type of functions in SQL Server, which basically returns the value in two formats. One is either single value or group of values. Based on that, we can able to categorize into two parts. One is single values or a single valued function, if a value is returning a single thing. If it is returning more than one value, nothing but it has to be a table, so that we can something call it as table valued function. Alright. Now let me show the screen once again. There are the two things functions we have. That first function is called it as scalar valued function, and the second function we can call it as a table valued function. What will happen with this here? This scalar valued functions or the functions, these functions are returns only one value, right, either type of integer, character or date or time. Alright. So whereas if you go for some let's first write the syntax, everyone please. Alright, write the syntax fast. Alright. So right. So these are the functions which we have to remember, where you can have either you can use create or alter, nothing but whenever you creating for the first time, it is create statement. Whenever you want to alter that, then I mean to say for example, most of the time we have not discussed about alter, right. Alter is nothing but what, it's pretty simple thing. It is pretty simple thing that, for example, let's see, I'll tell you a very simple thing. You have created a table, or you have created a procedure, you have created a function. First time you don't have anything, by the time directly you have created it. After that you need to have some modification has to be done on that procedure or a function or a view. Then it is pretty simple. Instead of create, just you need to replace the word, instead of create you have to replace the word as alter. Alter function followed by functioning. Otherwise you can just say that alter function name. In the same way you can say that alter table name, or alter procedure name. Simple as that. There are the two things which you have to remember based on this. Okay. Alright. So now let me go to a SQL Server database and we'll try to write one of the function based on this basic syntax which is given on SQL Server, right. So what is the basic syntax which you have to remember here is, you have to remember the basic syntax as this one. Alright. So first thing is, I am writing a syntax. First of all, please do remember this. Alright, say create function and followed by name of function. Alright, so here you need to have a parameters. Alright, so here it will returns the value, whether it is a respective data type, nothing but maybe integer, maybe character, maybe float as begin. You can just write whatever the things, I mean the select statement or whatever this one, then you can just say end of this one. Alright. So but the select statement has to be at end of the select statement, it has to contain compulsory some return statement. Alright. So this is how we can able to use this particular function. Alright. So how to write a simple function here, let's see. Alright. Let's see, create a function here, let's say create function, name of function is let's say f underscore n. Alright, name of function is test. Alright, so what I want to give is, I want to give an input as some value. Alright, so what I want to give an input is, let's see, probably I am giving an input as id, input as employee id. What I want to return is returns as integer, nothing but this function has to be written as integer. Alright. So after this, alright, so we have written the variable name has the different thing. First we have to write the variable name @, or ID followed by its type of integer, alright. So then I just want to say as begin, right, say select, what is the value I want to return? I want to return an integer, nothing but employee salary I want to return from this particular table, let us say employee salary. From the table name is what, TBL underscore employee, where your ID of employee has been, okay, at the rate ID, alright. So then you can directly say that value has to be returned, return a value, then you can just say end of this particular procedure, alright. So then you can directly execute this particular procedure, or sorry, function, alright. So invalid column name, select employee, first we will execute this, alright. So we have a column name where ID is equals to, let us see, change this one also, let us understand first of all, yeah, it is working, but let us see what is wrong in this, alright, returns, alright. So I do one thing, I do declare some variable here, alright. So at the rate x, which is type of integer, and I will give a value to this one as x is equals to integer, and I just want to return the integer value here, alright. So do some modification rather than what I can call it as we have created a procedure, instead of creator, let change small things here. So value you can directly take it into one variable here, and that value you can directly return this, alright. So now let us execute this particular function now. Now your function is created under the database called e underscore shoppy, the name of the function is fn underscore test, alright. So whenever you want to use this particular function, alright. So how to use this particular functions is pretty simple. You can use any kind of functions, or you can write any functions has to be written with select statement only, right. Select of dbo dot, what is the function name, fn underscore test, alright. So what is it is expecting? It is expecting the input as some value, right. So what is the value I am giving is 1, alright. So from the table name is what, let us probably table name is tbl underscore employee, alright. So now let me execute this, right. It is going to return the employee details here, right. That is what we have given for this, and the values which is returned by your functions, okay. This is something called it as scalar functions. The table valued functions are same, but the values has to be here, here your return value is, you have to write integer type, right. Instead of this you have to write here table, apart from this everything is same, alright. So here create or alter function name, and you have to returns the value, some value you have to return either integer, character or data time, right. So instead of here you need to return as a table, alright, returns value is table, then it can be call it as table valued function, alright. So those are the things which you have to remember whenever someone is talking about user defined functions, okay. Alright, that is it for the day, alright. Thank you so much for listening to my class. Have a great day. By the way, I am Anil Kumar, the trainer of APSSDC.